Well, praise the Lord, everybody. Welcome to this week's edition of Leadership Corner. I'm working on a new book on leadership, and I'm not sure the title or anything yet, but I'm going to discuss the three dimensions of leadership, and we're not going to get to those three here today. I want to keep this under just a few minutes, 7 minutes or so. But the first dimension of leadership, I believe the foundation of biblical, godly leadership is, first of all, we've got to learn to lead ourselves. Every leader must lead themselves. If we don't, listen, first of all, if you're not going anywhere, no one's going to follow you. And leadership is all about leading others into the direction or the plan or the purpose, fulfilling whatever it is, worthy cause, so to speak. If you're not going anywhere, then who's going to follow you, right? So this is, I believe, the most paramount step in becoming a great leader is understanding that we have to lead ourselves, become leaders to ourselves, honing our skills as much as possible. And when I say that, I mean that we have to invest, leaders need to invest in themselves every moment of the time. I've been, I think when we're in grade school or whatever, we can't wait to get to 12th grade, to graduate, to get out of school because we hate school. And then if you decide to go to college, you've got 2 or 4 or 6 years or 8 years, whatever, college. And then, I can't wait to get through college so I can get on with my life, get on with doing what I want to be doing. So we're always rushing to get out of school, to get out of being a student. But the reality is, for a leader, we are always in class. Session never ends. A leader who's truly leading himself or herself is always getting another book, taking another class, watching another video on leadership, listening to another podcast. And so in this first installment here, I guess, of these three dimensions of leadership, I want to talk about that. I want to talk about a leader investing into himself. If there's no corn in the crib, you have nothing to say. If you have nothing to say, then nobody's going to listen to you. This is the reason why the older that people get, the more followers they might have. Why? Because, life is a teacher. And the more you sit under and subject yourself to that lesson of life, the teacher of life, the more wisdom we have, the more life experiences that we can offer someone. That's the reason why we always want to sit and listen to our elders. This is another, I always say, buy books, listen to podcasts, whatever. Listen to your elders. Listen to the people who've been down the road as much as possible. Sister Tenny had a class one time at one of the conferences, and her class was Things I've Learned Along the Way. What an incredible lesson that was. Anytime you can get yourself in a situation where you can hear the elders speak to you about life. I remember old people, whatever, we love to talk. I say they, I'm in some circles, I'm the old guy, right, whatever. But I know when I was around my grandfather, he just loved to talk about life. And these were life lessons. These are, never stop being a student. Some of the books that I would recommend for any leader, just to begin, this is the foundation of leadership development, would be a great book is 7 Habits, Highly Effective People. Old book. I've wore several of them out so far. I found another one underneath the seat of the car. I must have given it to one of the kids or something. I found it. So I got me another copy. I've got audio copies of it. Reread it. Read it every 5 years. Listen to it every 10 years, whatever. Because the older you get, the more experience you have. Life becomes, your perspective changes. The information that's coming in changes. So always, if you have a good book, The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team is a tremendous book. Any book by John C. Maxwell. He is, he wrote the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. That'll be the first book that you read if you're trying to become a leader. Or if you've already read it, praise the Lord, reread it. The 17 Irrefutable Laws of Teamwork, the 15 Undisputable Laws of Self-Development. Well, all these, I'm getting these titles mixed up, but you know what I'm talking about. John C. Maxwell, Today Matters. This is another great book on seizing the day. So in your effort to become a leader, you've got to realize that leadership, and we may talk about this next week, leadership is not a position. Leadership is about influence, and it's about, in other words, I cannot be promoted or hired on in a company in a leadership position. Now, I could have a high position where I've got people working below me, so to speak, who work for me, answer to me, whatever. That's not leadership. That we get that confused. We always say, well, I'm in a leadership position. Well, who put you there? Did the people who are following you put you there? Were you elected into that position, right? Those are the true leaders, the ones who we elect and we put there and we say, we want you to lead us. That is the leader. Everybody else is a great manager. This is managing positions. So if you are in a position where you have people working for you or answering to you, so to speak, then you're a manager. That doesn't make you a leader. Let me explain this a different way. The janitor in the building could be the greatest leader in the whole building, as opposed to even the CEO in the penthouse. The CEO could be a great manager, manages company, manages money, makes a lot of money, tells people what to do, is good at it, is good at processes and getting his product from point A to point B and sales and all that. He might know numbers and understand all of that, but he might not have any idea of how to talk to people, how to have a relationship with people, and how to influence people. But the janitor, he may be the one who's really knows how to have influence. And people of great stature may go to the janitor for advice. And so even though a person may not have the position, they could be a leader. There's no question. John C. Maxwell's book, The 360-Degree Leader, is a great example of that. Read that book and figure out how even the people who are at the bottom of the totem pole, so to speak, can lead others. Because leadership, again, is not about a position. It's about influence. And so that's today's take. That's our leadership corner for today. You've got to lead yourself. Invest into yourself. Hone those skills and become the very best leader that you can be. Till next time, I'll see you there. Praise the Lord.